What's up, y'all? This your girl Nina. I wanted to talk about bitterness. Um, I don't think we understand um how important it is for us to let go of some things and how bitterness is affecting us in our everyday life, how our attitudes are affecting us, how the way we carry ourselves. Um, a lot of things we've been through in our past um, is the bad things that we went through or bad experience that we went through is affecting us, have affected us, and in many cases, it has caused us to be bitter, mean, angry, unforgiving, um, you know, unable to love again, and it is killing us. It's stealing, you know, the things. It's stealing. Oh, I'm sorry. It's stealing our peace. It's stealing our joy. Um, you know, it's pushing us away from receiving what God has promised us. And I was just on a Facebook and I was talking about regarding women. I'm noticing a lot of women are bitter, a lot of women are mad, a lot of women are holding grudges against men for the things that they done. And I had a taste of being bitter and being angry and not not being able to forgive myself for the things that I done in my past, for the things that for the bad choices that I made. And I just believe that a lot of women are blaming men for a lot of things that men did to them, and they're not taking accountability for the things that they did. And I believe a lot of women are in denial, and they don't want to admit, the things that they have done. And I feel like if we come to the point in our life where we can sit back and think about some of the things that we done in these situations, um, and be a woman about it, and then forgive ourselves. I just think that that is the only way that we will be able to move on from past hurt, from disappointments in our life, from the bad choices that we decided to make that we don't want to own up to. And the only way we can let go, like I said, we have to come to a point where we just admit, confess, confess that we were wrong in some of the, in some of these situations, and stop blaming men for the things that we done, for our bad decisions. We have to stop blaming them. Once we stop blaming them, and once we take accountability for our actions, then we will be able to have peace. We will be able to let go. We will be able to love again. But if we keep blaming, keep pointing the blame on someone, men, then we will never be able to move on and let go. And a lot of women are having problems with forgiving, and they really having problem with forgiving themselves. And I believe that forgiving yourself is even could be worse than forgiving someone else. I went through that. I went through that for like a whole year, trying to let go, and then God revealed to me is not that you didn't forgive him, you didn't forgive yourself. And I said, wow, that's what it is. So then I had to go back and I had to confess. I had to confess some of the things that I'd done. And I had to confess that, you know, it wasn't all his fault. It wasn't all his fault. And I had to accept what happened. And I had to forgive myself, you know, for allowing myself to do what I knew wasn't right from the start. And sometimes women know when they get in a relationship, they know this person is not the one for them. They know, you know, you really sometimes you know, because we have that instinct where we know, but then we don't want to accept it, and that be our problem. We don't want to accept it, and so we just go on and just go along with it, and then you know, then you look up 3 years that went past, and now you stuck in a situation. You being physically abused, you being emotionally abused, verbally, you know, abused because you didn't make the decision or you didn't, you know, take this situation in consideration that this was not going to work out. So we get mad at men, but in the beginning you had the power. But if you let the man overpower you, and then when he end up don't want to be with you, or when he end up dogging you, whose fault is it? But it's like women, they don't. We sometimes we don't want to admit our wrongs. It's easy for us to blame things on the man instead of looking at ourselves and looking at what we did in the situation. But however, I had some scriptures that I wanted to read. Let me make this real quick because I don't want to get cut off. But yeah, Mark 11:25, real quick, is stating when, excuse me, whenever you stand praying, forgive. If you have anything against anyone, forgive. Forgive yourself first. Forgiving ourselves first is the first step to moving on. It's the first step. Then you forgive that person because we have to look at it. We're forgiving the person for the sins they committed because the Bible said, forgive that person for their trespass so that God will forgive you. Same thing. If you want that person, if you want God to forgive you for the sins you committed, forgive that person for the sins they committed. Because if they hurt you, if they, you know, cuss you out, they abuse you, those were sins. So we have to forgive that person for what sins they committed. Just like we want God to forgive us for the sins we have committed. We have to know that it is not the person that does it. It's we're forgiving the sin they committed, not the person. And when we begin to understand biblical scriptures and get a good understanding, then we will be able to move on. We need a revelation. We need to get a word from the Lord. And when you get a revelation and when you get a word from the Lord, He said in His word that He will deliver you. He will heal you. He will strengthen you. So we need to let all bitterness, let all anger, let all these things go because it's not worth it. This is all in the devil's plan to get us out of the will of God. The devil don't want us to have the things that God has promised us. He don't want it. So that's why he want to keep us angry. He want to keep us, in unforgiveness. He want to keep us bitter. He want to keep us with this mindset that all people are wrong, all men are dogs, all women are hoes, or these are the seeds that the devil is planting in our mindset. And if and the Bible say, as a man think in his heart, so is he. So if we get these thoughts in our mind, then we begin to behave. We begin to act the way we think. So I just want to encourage men and women, because men go through this as well. It's a lot of angry men out here. It's a lot of men that been abused by women, that been used. So, this goes both ways. Yes, it does. But I'm seeing more women than anything bitter and angry and mad. And it's just not worth it. It's not worth it because God has so much. He want to do so much um great things for us. But it's because of us that he won't do it. He won't do it because of our ways, because of our mindset. He won't do it. We have to get our hearts right so that we will be able to receive um, a man or a woman. And a lot of people's hearts are not right, and they're wondering why they can't receive. And then they get this mindset, well, I'm giving up on love. Love hurt. These are the things that the devil put in our minds, and then we begin to speak that out of our mouths, and then we begin to have what we say, because you have what you say. That's why we have to watch the things that comes out of our mouth. And deep in your heart that you want love. You want to be with someone. You just don't want to be hurt again. Well, we need to learn how to say that. We need to learn how to change the things that we say. Because all our words are hurting us in the end, and we don't even realize. So let's let some things go tonight. If you have anger, bitterness in your heart, unforgiveness in your heart, let it go. Let it go. Confess, confess your sins. Because God said if you confess, he is faithful to forgive you. He will forgive you, but you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself for allowing yourself to go through that for that long. It's too long. You've been going through it for too long. And it's just time to let go. If you let go, then you will be able to receive. You will.